Hello, and thank you for your interest in the XL Bolt-On Human Machine Interface, or XBHMI, from Sulzer Consulting of the Vetti Group. This video will show how to navigate some of the XBHMI features and how to get started with basic configuration tasks. The demonstration will take place on a Windows 7 system, but XBHMI can be installed on any current Windows desktop, tablet, or touchscreen. The only requirement is that the computer, tablet, or touchscreen is running Microsoft Windows 7 or newer. This demonstration will show only a few of the many features of the XBHMI application, so be sure to reference the user's manual, which covers all the features in much greater detail. First, let's start by configuring two Vorn XL devices. We do this to show that you can communicate with multiple Vorn XL devices, but only one at a time, of course. Both configuration and runtime are done using the XBHMI Configurator program, so let's start that. It can be found under All Programs, XL Bolt-On XBHMI, and the XBHMI Configurator. Acknowledge the demo licensing reminder, if applicable, by selecting OK. Select the Configure Application button in the upper right-hand corner to bring up the configuration window. Note, access to the configuration window can be password protected to keep operators from making unauthorized changes. Select Manage Devices to bring up the device list. Select all devices, right-click, and select New Device. Enter a name for the new device, such as Line 1. If the XL device is online, the preferred method of configuring the device would be to enter the IP address and select Test Connection, which will automatically populate the device name and other fields based on the configuration of the XL device. If you select a device as the default device by selecting the checkbox, that device will be automatically selected when the XBHMI starts up. You can also configure a page set that will be displayed automatically when this device is selected. The use of page sets will be described later in the video, but it's worth mentioning now when you are configuring a device. You can select Test Connection to confirm you've configured the Vorn XL device correctly. Hit the Close button when the test is complete. Select OK when you're finished with that device. To configure a second device, follow the same procedure as above. Select All Devices, right-click, and select New Device. Enter a name, such as Line 2, and the IP. When done with configuring the devices, select Close. Page sets are a powerful way to customize the interface to a specific Vorn XL device for your environment and/or preferences. Page sets are a set of pages where each page can have a different group of buttons that perform actions, just like the barcode scanner connected to an XL device does. Here are some of the basics on using page sets. The XBHMI comes with some template page sets, and they cannot be changed or deleted. Templates are just examples of what you might want to do. You can copy one of these templates and modify it to fit your needs for a specific device or group of XL devices. Here's how that is done. In the configuration window, select Manage Page Sets to bring up the list of configured page sets. Select the template V21, right-click, and select Copy. Then right-click anywhere in the page list area and select Paste. This will create a user version of the page set template that can be edited. Please make sure to select the correct version of the template, V1 or V2, to match your Vorn XL firmware version. If your Vorn XL firmware begins with a 1, you are running V1, otherwise you are running V2. If you want to start from a completely blank page set and customize it from scratch, here's how that is done. Right-click anywhere in the page set list and select New Page Set. This will bring up a blank page set that can be customized similar to the one created from a template. Once you have a page set that you want to customize, there are several items that can be configured for that page set. To change these settings, select the page set you wish to configure, right-click and select Edit. This enables the configuration of the page set and allows you to customize it. Here are some of the more notable items you might want to configure in the page set. The name, for instance, the number of pages in the page set. For this demonstration, let's set that to 4. A custom web link so that the operator can easily launch the XL web page or any other website. Built-in header buttons if you want to show common operation buttons on the page set, such as Start Production, End Production, or Split Start Down. You can also configure 3 columns of production metrics for the shift and current part dimensions. Please note I am scrolling down because the pages can be quite tall. Once we have everything configured, let's exit out of the page set configuration by selecting OK and Close. Now that we're back to the main configuration window, let's select our newly copied and modified page set by clicking on the Select button to the right of the current page set and selecting our new page set. Then we can exit out of the configuration window by selecting OK. Now we can see the number of pages we configured, the header buttons we enabled, and if we right-click on the scoreboard, we can launch the quick link as configured. Please note the scoreboard is only available for XL 800 and XL 810 devices. Now that you have a page set with the number of pages you want and the number of buttons on each page, you will want to configure what the buttons do. Here's how that is done. Select the Configuration Application button in the upper right-hand corner to bring up the configuration window. In the configuration window, select the page set you want to configure if it isn't already displayed. Then, select the page that you want to change the buttons on. The buttons with no action are letting you know that they have nothing configured for them and will be hidden at runtime by default. We can right-click on a button and select Edit, or just double-click and it'll bring up the configuration for that button. Not only can you configure that action for the button, but under the Common Settings tab, you can configure the color and font used if desired. Say you want to configure a button that specifies the reason for a downtime. This is done by selecting the V2 Supply Process State Reason and selecting OK to change the input fields. Then select the category state and select Down. You can then select the desired reason in the process state reason list. In this case, we're going to select Jam. The reasons in the list are read from the XL device, so if you want to add one that isn't on the list, you will need to first configure it in the Born XL Downtime Reason list. Please refer to the user's manual for explanation of all action types that can be configured for a button. When you are done configuring the button action, be sure to hit OK to save your changes. If you want to configure a few buttons that are similar, a great way to do that is right-click on a button and select Copy. Then move to a No Action button and select Paste. This type of copy and paste operation can even be used to move buttons around a page if you want to. Here is how that is done. You can even create buttons on a page that tell the XB-HMI to switch communicating and commanding with another XL device. Here's how that is done. First, let's create a new page in a page set called Line Select. You can right-click on the Pages area and select New. Once the page is created, you can right-click on the new page and select Edit. Then we can change the name of the page to Line Select, and configure 2 buttons on the first line of that page. Once we select Close, it will show our new page with the 2 buttons. Let's right-click on the left button and select Edit. This brings up the window that allows you to configure what the button will do. In this case, we will change the label to Line 1. And select the action type to be Select Current Device. Then we will select Line 1 device and move it to the selected area. Then we can hit OK and move on to the other button. Let's right-click on that button and hit Edit. Here again, we can change the label to be Line 2 and configure the action type to be Set Current Device. Then we select Line 2 device, move it to the selected area, and hit OK. Now we have 2 buttons that will select which Vorn XL device the operator wants to interact with and command. Hitting OK will exit out of the configuration window and save your work. Now let's try out our buttons that select the line. Let's look at the ways you can change the number and order of pages within a page set. In the configuration window, select the page set you want to work with if it isn't already displayed. At this point, you can easily add a page by right-clicking over an existing page and selecting New. You can also change the order of pages by right-clicking on a page and selecting Move Left or Move Right to move the page within the page set. You can also select a page, right-click, and select Edit, which will allow you to configure that page. For each page, you can configure the name, colors you want to use for that page, and many other items. In this case, we're going to set the page to be named Downtime. At the bottom of each page configuration, you can configure how many rows of buttons and how many buttons in each row for that page. In this case, we're going to configure 2 rows of 2 buttons each. When you are done with configuring the page set, be sure to hit Close and OK to save your work. If you want to copy a specific page between page sets, here's how that is done. In the configuration window, select Manage Page Sets to bring up the list of page sets. Click the small triangle to the left of the page set to show all the pages in that page set. You can then select any page, right-click, and select Copy. Then move to another page set and select Paste. Be sure to select Close when you are finished. This is useful when you have a specific page that you have configured and you want that same page to be part of other page sets. Finally, let's customize the behavior of the XBHMI application itself. Here's how that is done. Select the Configuration Application button in the upper right-hand corner to bring up the configuration window. In the menu at the top, select Tools, Application Settings. In this dialog, you can select and unselect several settings that control the behavior of the application's window, such as whether the application auto-starts, meaning it will automatically start XBHMI when the PC is started and the user logs in, whether the application is always on top, which brings the XBHMI to the front regardless of other running applications on the PC, allowing the main window to minimize, maximize, and exit, which are disabled by default, enabling, disabling, or changing the timer for the screensaver, which is available on XL800 and XL810 models only, forcing the application to remain active, which prevents automatic PC logoff due to inactivity. Please be aware that most of these settings are provided to limit the operator's ability to access the Windows desktop. The user may want to revert back to an out-of-the-box configuration of these items before deploying to the plant floor. When you're finished, select OK to save your work. Call or email Warren Industries or Sulzer Consulting today to get started with your free trial of the XL Bolt-On HMI. The free trial is fully functional for 2 hours. Thank you.